It's better. Okay. Let's get some glue. That other camera turned off. Ishwood, thanks for the lurk. Appreciate you stopping in. Well, maybe we'll get it to go away. My computer's been giving me some problems here lately. Doesn't want to perform. But I was doing some research, and I do think I need to try reinstalling NVIDIA Broadcast. Try not to blow up the stream here. There we go. Yeah, we'll just use some. Throw some wax paper on the corners here. Try and keep our mess off the top of the table saw. Have to clean up a couple of these corners really quick. Benzo, how you doing today? Gonna be gluing in some splines. We can get a piece of sandpaper in here, just get those little burrs out of the ends. I hope this is my last frame for a really long time. These aren't, it's not like these are difficult, but they just seem to be a time suck. Especially to get those mitered corners nice and alright, so I'm just going to put a piece of wax paper on the corners just in case we have some glue seeping. Doing fairly well, thanks. Not doing too bad myself. I'm, I don't know, things just been going a little rough in the shop lately. Kind of in a funk, and I hope it Hope it ends soon because it's kind of frustrating. First time catching your stream. Nice shop. Thanks. Yeah, we were just talking about the spleen versus spline. Got any tips for making the mitered corners line up all the way around? So, couple things. So having an accurate miter sled really seems to help. Um, this has been one of those things where I've been kind of doing a lot of learning and experimenting, but um, so having a good miter gauge and um, so I've got a couple. I've got I've got the Craig Precision Miter Gauge. This is 24 inches, so it does work for most things. This frame is a little bit larger, but I do have Incra makes. There's two versions of this. There's one with the table and one without. But having a really good miter gauge that supports your piece, um, all along. And the other thing is being able to have a stop block on your miter gauge, so that you can guarantee each of your pieces are being cut to the exact same length. So when I'm cutting mine, the first piece it doesn't really matter because you just need to get that 45. But I'll put a stop block on, cut my first 45, and then I'll flip it, measure my length, set my stop block, and I'll cut all those pieces. So as long as you can have an accurate 45 and your pieces are the same length, ideally uh, you should have a picture that glues up nice. Overall, I really like it. The only frustration that I really have with it is the fact you need an Allen key or a hex key to make adjustments on it. And wow, I just realized one of my cameras is freaking out on me. What's going on, GoPro? Uh, as far as the shop funk goes, I have no idea. It just seems like every project I've gotten into lately, it's been just fighting me. No, I haven't seen Michael Alm on YouTube. Have to check him out. Pretty nifty looking. Yeah, so I've seen some really nice picture frames. Cat, welcome in. Always read the Man in the Arena quote to cheer yourself up. I'm not sure. Not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how strong the man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. That the quote you're speaking of? Yeah. Oh, it's not gonna let me drop this whole piece in there. Darn character limits. A 6-hour stream? I don't know about that. Oh, and stuff like this, even like this little camera issue we're fighting right now. This is what I'm talking about. It's all this little piddly stuff. But, yep, there you go. Doing the thing. Settle for 5 hours. There you go. I don't know if we'll make 5 either, but I do appreciate the quote there, Spenzo. I'm gonna have to keep that one handy. There we go. All right, we are back on track. Okay, so let us. All right, so big thing with the splines is just making sure you get them seated. So once that glue sets, and if they're not seated, um, that's not good. See if I can. Then about your only option is you try and cut it out, or you just get some wood filler in it or something. So we've got a couple pictures that we've been doing here. I guess you could kind of say they're commissions, um, but there are some projects my wife is working on, and I'm needing to get the frames at least put together. She's going to do all the rest of it. Squirt a little glue in here. Do want to make sure some good coverage in there. And then these splines, what they do is they just help really reinforce the corners nicely. So the frame we made, was it last weekend maybe? That one we used some pocket hole jig, the pocket hole jig to hold the frame together. This one we Going with a little bit of a different look. We're going to use splines instead. All right. Just wiggle it around in there. Get a lot of squeeze out, which is what I want to see anyway. Wipe up some of that mess. With it sticking out, I should be able to show. Get a bunch of this squeeze out. I have not sanded this yet, so we'll get all that extra glue cleaned up when I sand. Alright, so this will reach. So here's our miter in the sled. Now we cut down the center of the board, and you can see how that spline now. There's a connection on both these pieces. So this corner theoretically should never ever come apart. Again, what you want to really be careful with, this bit me one time with this, one of the first times I was messing with splines, is I thought I had it seated in there, but in the end, there was one corner that wasn't pushed in all the way. And yeah, that'll ruin your day once you find that mistake. What I ended up doing, I just ran it back through with my jig. I hadn't changed it or anything, so it was already set up, and I basically just cut it out and re-glued another one in there. Yeah, I guess I already got glue in there. I should have done a quick test fit, but they're all cut the same thickness. And they should all be cut the same width, so we should be good. Wiggle that around in there, get that glue. Touching all the surfaces. Been working on many projects lately, Spenzo? Cat, I saw you drop in here. What are you up to today? working on anything fun? All right, 2 down. High quality blue spreader. One more. Off the corner on something. A couple of chips there. Have to spend a little extra time sanding down there. Alright, let's get this last one in there and we'll let this glue dry for a little bit. Then we'll have to cut these off and sand the frame down. And this one will be stained. The other thing is so this is some aspen. And I've never stained aspen before. But what I've read up on it is you should definitely use a pre-stain. Aspen's kind of unique. It's considered it is considered a hardwood, but it's considered a soft hardwood. But I have been told that it does take stain very nicely. That'll be another experiment that we will have to undertake here. All right, lines are all in. Oh, probably need a good, at least 30 minutes. Those to for that glue to set up enough where I'd feel comfortable sanding those off. Not necessarily. What I'll do is I'll just take a flush cut saw, keep it just a little bit proud, and then sand it down. Is probably how I'm gonna do this one. All right, let's see. What do we want to do next here? What do we got for time? 2:30. Okay. Man, this place. I think I'm just gonna let this dry in here. I do need to get some of this picked up out here, so I can move around again a little bit. We will spend a couple minutes just getting a few things tidied up. Dado stack put away. Hopefully we don't need that again for a while, although I love the dado stack. I will say that's probably one of my top 5 favorite tools. For no other reason than when you get about 4 or 5 of those blades stuck together and you get that big wide piece of metal spinning around, it just looks cool. Very aggressive looking. Okay, so I wonder if I have any more T-slat hooks. I do. Pick up a couple more of those. Couple tools that I just want to keep more handy, closer to the table saw. This is something we gotta find today. I pulled the ruler out of my gauge, and I have not seen it in about 2 weeks. And I'm sure it's either hidden between a couple boards or I don't know, just it's in a pile right now. gotta get sorted through some things. So I've been working on cutting up some scraps. We're gonna make some serving boards, some cheese cutting boards, One of the things I've realized in my shop is I was looking at what's cluttering, and wood is what's really cluttering my work area. So I either need to carry a smaller inventory, find a new place to put it. It's convenient for it to be in the shop, but in a small shop like I'm in, I have to be very smart with my square footage that I have, and there's a couple things I'm going to try to do. One is I have a little ceiling space that I can utilize, and I've still got my wall behind my bandsaw and my lathe. I have to figure out what I want to do with that space. But I've got some bids in on a couple different tools that'll make my space a little more efficient as well. Um, there's a dust collector that I'm hoping I get. So it'll be a more. So right now I've got the Harbor Freight. I think it's considered a 40-gallon dust collector. But then I've got a chip separator in front of it, which is, I don't know, it's like a 30 or 40-gallon garbage can, and it's eating up a lot of space. So this dust collector I was bidding on, it's more of an all-in-one self-contained unit. It's actually smaller um, from a canister size and everything, but it's got a built-in filter and built-in chip separator, and that'll be nice because that'll actually free up about oh probably 7-8 square feet in total of space, because I'll have a little smaller footprint on the dust collector itself, and then I'll be able to completely get rid of that other chip separator. And the other nice thing about it is the way um, the 4-inch pipes or the ducts, the position of those is actually more convenient for me. And then I want to start hard piping in some of my tools, because that's another thing I deal with. So right now I got this hose, and I'm kind of just draping it all over the shop. So I'm always tripping on the darn thing, and it's just not conducive to a nice workflow. DC, I'm back. Kielbasa bake is done. Yeah, the hose in the floor is kind of a pain. All right, we gotta check out some of Moo's cooking here. See what you got for us. Which channel? There we go. I found it. If this is the right. There we go. So this is what DC's been working on here while we've been streaming. Kielbasa, cheesy kielbasa chicken bake. That looks pretty delicious. The enchiladas, yeah, those. So over lunch today, I made some enchiladas, and the thing about enchiladas, they're probably one of the more time-consuming Mexican dishes, in my opinion. Um, Hard to make, no, but they are a little work. I have to check this one out. Looks this looks delicious. So yeah, when it comes to Mexican food, I mean, tacos are tacos are a piece of cake. Burritos, um, they're pretty easy as well. But yeah, the enchiladas, there's just a few more steps. Again, none of the steps are hard. There's just more to do, and and they're really not. You kind of got to cook. In a way, you're cooking everything twice because you make everything and then you roll them up, but then you put them in a baking dish and you smother them in the sauce and then you bake them. I don't make them very often, but they just sounded really good today. Get a couple shout outs going here. With Life in Pain, if you're not already following, go check out his streams. He's got a really nice stream, uh, really chill, relaxed, and is always working on something interesting. Um, the uh, he's got some chickens on the way, so he's been working on a chicken coop, been doing some reworking some drawers, putting some new slides on them. Uh, Over the winter, did a train model train layout. So a lot of cool things over there. Does a little wrenching, some small motor work and stuff. And really fun stream. He's usually, I can't remember your schedule exactly, but I know you're streaming usually, is it about 10 to 1 Central? I can't remember what days exactly. Is it Tuesdays, Thursdays? Also has a really nice Discord. Yeah, stop on over, give him a follow, check out his Discord. Lots of, in fact, Life and Pain. You've got one of the nicer Discords out there. To be honest, I enjoy spending time on there. Monday and Thursday. There we go. And deceiving you today. Also another fantastic streamer here on Twitch. Been doing some clay work lately, making some Pokemon characters. It's just gotten into. So you've been doing the making and crafting streams now for, is it about a month? Maybe just over a month now. But it's a nice thing going on over there too. Has been doing some very impressive clay modeling. Try to get all this dried up glue off my fingers. I wish I had a sink out here. That's another thing I regret not installing when we were setting up our shop is an outdoor sink. All right, like I said, I'm just taking a few minutes here. We're gonna tidy up some stuff. Try to get this place back into some working order rather than dysfunction. When I'm working on projects, I throw things on the floor more than I should. Scrap bins getting full, so we might end up just having to put some of that in the trash. Makes good kindling. Oh, yeah, let's do this. Hold our joining sled. Hold that apart. Let's see where I can hang this really quick. I don't want to stress any of those joints quite yet. There we go. That glue should be dry, but I don't want to be in their 45s. I don't want to stress if just the weight of it could shift those splines. I don't want to risk that yet. But we needed to cut some bigger pieces the other day. Ended up having to modify this a little bit to make it work. Let's get this back together. Pretty handy little jig here too. So I don't have a jointer. This is what I use to straighten boards. But before we start losing pieces, probably just best if we get it all put back together. You know, another jig I need to get hung up and find a little more permanent spot for it. Jigs are nice, but they do clutter up the shop. So after a while, you accumulate about 2 or 3 dozen different ones, and they all do something a little unique, but you have to store them. Let's see, that's garbage. Oh, let's see. There's a couple people I need to track down. DC. So your pen's easy. I got yours made. I just got to get it to the post office. There's a couple other people. High Tech Redneck. I don't know if you're still around. I have started on yours. There's a couple other people that I need to build some pens for. Yeah, I don't see them lingering around in chat right now. So for the 200 follower party, we did some custom pen giveaways. 2 custom pens we need to get working on. Really need to figure out how to get. So I have a lot of benchtop tools, and I've got to figure out a better way to store them or just make them more accessible. The easy answer is I need a bigger shop, but that's not going to be happening anytime soon. Hopefully we're done with this contraption for a while. So this is a strap clamp. Works extremely well when you're building frames. Allows you to get around large pieces and hold those corners. Keep everything square. Kind of on the limits of this one, and it's about a 2x3 picture frame. Had this all kind of nice and self-contained within itself. Yeah, perfect. Should put it over with the rest of my clamps, so that would make more sense. Hoses, that's another thing. There's no good, easy way to organize them. Oh, this that needs to go inside. Almost took the camera for a ride with that one. Here is a tool that's far underutilized in my shop. The shop vac. Even with all the dust collection, sawdust just seems to always get everywhere. Hey, I can almost see some floor again. Keep that somewhat handy for now. Alright. I wanted to see what else was happening out on Twitch today. Chugging. Good timing, TW. I should have my other air filter turned on today, too. So, just picking up a couple things, getting the shop ready for next step, which I think what we might end up doing is gluing up another cheese board. I found a kit I like much better. That is the kits from Rockler, because they're an all metal board, or not board, all metal slicer. That other one I did was from Woodcraft, and this part right here, they make it out of plastic, and you spend all this time and effort making a really nice board, and then they put that cheap plasticky end on it. These I would feel much better putting my name on it and getting them out there. I was hoping I could swap out the other one that I did, but this actually, you need just a slightly larger board. It's all food grade stainless steel, all the components. But let's see what size of a board we need to make. How's the quilt coming along, PW. I see you got your materials.